LinkedIn.
Let's check.
I have to connect to LinkedIn. Hey, everyone. Let's see if I can connect to LinkedIn. Please be patient with me. I have to connect to LinkedIn so we can go live on LinkedIn. Though, I don't think it matters too much. I don't think we have a lot of people on LinkedIn. I will just do it anyways. How's everyone doing? Just give me 1 second while I set some stuff up. Hey, I see a lot of people. Okay, now we're good. We are good. 67 people on right now. Lenoria, Kanan, Agniv, Rahul, Aliza, Heather, Gucci. All right, let's kick this. Let's get this started. So, welcome everyone. I love doing these. I try to do these once a month, where I just come on, answer any questions you might have. A lot of you have been following the channel for. I mean, you might have joined the community in the last couple of days, or you might have been following since the beginning of my journey 4 years ago. Either way, I'm super grateful that you're here today, to be engaging with you, to help you, clear any misunderstandings or optimize anything or understand something. I like to do these twice a week with my the paid customers of my reality mastery program, but and they love it. I hope, and I wanted to make this available for all of you. So, who wants to get started with questions? So how this will go, I suppose, is Hina, my manager, she's here. She's gonna pin the questions, and I'm just gonna go in order. It's just hard for me to keep track of all of the chats going on. Not that I don't appreciate it. It's just really, really hard for me to do. So she's gonna, put them one by
Hey
one.
guys.
Hi, Hina. And yeah, I'll just answer them. So who wants to get started with questions? Yeah, we didn't promote this one too hard. Oh, by the way, we have an open enrollment for Reality Creator Academy. We typically keep it closed, and we only promote it like a couple times a year. But it's auspicious that we're doing this live now, and it wasn't planned at all. But it just turns out that we have an open enrollment period right now. So if you are interested, you can check out all the details for it if you just go to realitycreator.com/RCA. Yeah, so all you need to do is go to realitycreator.com/RCA. There's like 3 days left for enrollment, and there's like a timer in there. All right, I'm gonna get started with questions. Boku Money says, how do you best maintain the image that you've crafted for yourself, and how do you step into this new version of yourself on command? So one of the biggest misconceptions is I need to hold on to this image. I need to force myself to step into it. Chances are, if you are oh, thank you for that. The process of identity shifting is you becoming more and more authentically yourself. The issue is you've collected certain things from your environment that has told you, oh, you should want this and not want that. You should be like this and not be like that. So you've suppressed certain parts of you. It's kind of like the sun is, if the clouds are removed, the sun is free to shine forth. So the process of identity shifting is you removing all the false ideas. You're becoming more and more yourself. So instead of trying to hold on to some image that doesn't feel fully, natural to you, you're actually pretending to be someone else. Ask yourself, hey, if I were uniquely, authentically me, how can I let go of false ideas and just own who I am and step into that? Yeah. One way to step into a new version of yourself on command is identity is based on, so being is like, it's dependent on what you're doing. When you're showing up to an activity, right? You show up as a certain version of yourself. If you're not doing anything, then the being isn't, it's transparent, right? So an example of this I can give you is, we only know ripple that there's a river or a body of water when we can see ripples in it. Otherwise, it just, if it looks still and nothing is either reflecting off of it, or nothing, it's not rippling, it's just still, right? So only when there's an activity or a task we can step into that version of ourselves, who we would be and how we would do it. So the question to ask is, before you step into something, how would I show up to this that is uniquely and authentically me, that ideal version of me, my ideal self? Hope that answers your question. What are some of the best techniques to shift limiting beliefs standards when shifting your 2.0 self? One of the techniques we love in our program, I teach my clients, is upgrading your belief. So, reaching the state of vibratory alignment. So, a lot of the times you'll notice that you have a particular desire, but your belief isn't on par with your desire. Your desire is here, but your belief is here. We either want to bring our desires down here, or we want to bring our beliefs up here. So, to give you an example of that, right now you believe that you can just go to your fridge and make yourself a sandwich. You're fully capable of that because you've done it many times before, right? So, your desire is to make sandwich. Your belief is, I'm capable of making sandwich. I have ingredients to make sandwich. So there's two types of beliefs. There's the paradigm, my worldview, and my self-view, identity. I am capable, and my world, the conditions in my world are sufficient for me to be able to make a sandwich. So therefore, you just put one foot in front of the other and go make a sandwich. If you cannot do that, like you don't have ingredients, then you change your belief to, I need to go out and get the ingredients. Still, it's possible. Now, on the contrary, if you have a desire to, let's say, make a certain amount of money in your business, and you've never made that because, let's say, you don't have a business, or you've never seen this business be successful, your desire is up here, but your belief is down here. We need to bridge the gap between this gap, right? Between desire and belief. So in order to do that, we add action conditions. It's very easy for the mind to believe in action, to say, if this, then that, the if then statements. So I may not be a 10K a month business owner, and I can't, fathom having a $10,000 a month business. But if I do this, if I study sales, if I set up my funnel, if I, visualize, then I will eventually find a way to have a 10K a month business. So it's not about shifting your limiting beliefs. It's more about upgrading your beliefs, right? We're taking what we have right now, because you can't ever really get rid of limiting beliefs. You simply just work with what you have. You take what you've got right now and you upgrade it until you reach vibratory alignment with your desire, and then movement towards the goal happens. Otherwise, you're either stagnant, stuck here, or you're moving away from the goal, which is what most people do. They think about a goal, but they're like, oh, but I can't do it. Oh, you can't do it? Here you go. The mirror of reality will reflect just that. Hope that answers your question. Which books and practices helped you the most or gave you the greatest aha moment? Good question. Some of the books that I've read, one of them is called I Am That by Sri Ramana Maharshi. I Am That. The other one is obviously Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. The last one is like kind of obscure. It's called Reality Transurfing by an author called Vadim Zealand. That I don't mention that a lot because shit's happened in the past with it. But yeah, that book has genuinely helped me. And what's another book? Parallel Universes of Self by Frederick Dodson. That really woke me up to the concept of identity shifting. Who you embody is what you get in your reality. So I would definitely recommend those books. Estic web design. How do you balance being humble with believing you are destined for greatness? Do you just keep it inside like your own little secret? Um, I'm just getting a weird message. Sorry about that from LinkedIn. Apparently it's not working there, but that's all right. How do you balance being humble with believing you are destined for greatness? Do you just keep it inside like your own little secret, or do you speak it, act it? So here's the thing. This is a question about inner importance. So how much importance I place on my own qualities. So if you become excessively humble and you like humiliate yourself and you feel crappy about yourself, that's not good. If you feel excessively cocky, that's also not good. The golden standard of inner importance is I'm great. I'm neither special nor am I unspecial. I simply am, and everyone is. And we all have the right to experience what we want. If I'm destined for greatness, so is everyone else. It's just I've been able to realize it. Other people haven't realized it yet. You know what I mean? So you never want to look at your own importance level compared to someone else's as superior. That's when life will, throw all these challenges and tests at you to show you you're not that special, to bring you down. So the issue with high levels of inner importance or too low levels of inner importance is you create an imbalance in the field of nature with your thought energy. You put too much importance on something, you generate an imbalance in nature called excess potential. And with that, what happens is life takes the path of least resistance to balance out this imbalance in its field. So if you imagine field lines that are uniform, when I put too much thought or meaning to one thing, the field lines get distorted over here and it creates a lack of balance in the field of nature. Just like me taking this pen and putting it up here. It takes some amount of effort in my arm to hold this pen up here, right? So it's not a natural condition for it to be. It's actually unnatural for this pen to exist here. So the pen wants to go to the lowest state, like the zero, basically the state of zero potential. It has very high potential now because the potential for it is to drop down to the ground. Just like that, with our thought energy, we give it potential, which then creates imbalance in the field of nature, which makes it act against what we want. And typically, when the universe takes a path of least resistance, it gives you what you don't want. So, for example, if you feel like you're too cocky, you might think, oh, I'm moving towards the goal because I believe I can do it. I believe I'm better than everyone, right? Most of the times what will happen is it will throw challenges at you to show you, oh, look, you're not all that good. See, you can't even do elementary stuff. You thought you were so good. Look at all these challenges and look at all this shit that's going on in your business and in your life. Hope that answers your question. Ando says, I'm sorry for my English. I want to ask you, how can I let go and acknowledge from angry from everyone who hurt me? If bad event happens, I can stay calm, but if someone treats me bad, I lose control. You have to investigate. You have to investigate within you what triggers that. What within you triggers this? Why? So instead of reacting to it and judging it immediately, just investigate. Go within, and when you get triggered and you feel angry, why is that? What idea or what are you focusing on that's making you angry? I believe in life, there's a static law and a more dynamic kind of control-based function that allows you to stay in this law. The main law of life is the law of balance. Everything strives to um, stay in balance, whether we understand what that balance is or not. And the control function that animated beings within reality possess is their focus, our consciousness, right? So, to give you an example, if someone does something bad to me, if I focus on myself and what I have lost, I will become angry at the other person, or I will feel like a victim, depending on my level of energy. But if I shift my focus to the other person and I think, what would drive them to do something like that? Man, they must be going through some real tough times to be doing something like that. This is the beginning of empathy. You stop thinking only about me, 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 and you think, what could this other person be going through? Whatever I'm going through, this person's probably going through something worse. So ask yourself, what are you focusing on that's creating this? What are you unconsciously focusing on? Right? So in life, we can either consciously focus on something, aka I'm choosing to put my attention here. But most of the times, we unconsciously focus on other things because of what we're holding onto within our body. So we hold on to these pain body, traumatic experiences, like things that happen that we haven't properly surrendered or dealt with, which makes us unconsciously focus on it. So, for example, some people might not care about their social image, right? And so they just act however the fuck they want in public. They don't care about that. But for other things, they really hold on to it. Like, for example, maybe they're really attached to their business, right? If anything happens in their business, all of a sudden they go in a state of frenzy and panic. Like, oh no, how could this have happened? Or for other people, it could be something in their relationship. Maybe they have been in a traumatic relationship in the past or a toxic relationship in the past. And anytime they catch a whiff of that relationship unfolding in that pattern, guess what happens? They go in that same state of frenzy and panic. Their attention just goes awry. They can't control it. So you have to identify what it is that you're unconsciously holding on to that hasn't been correctly processed. And the method to deal with it is what's known as surrender. There's a great book. I actually, someone asked about great books. There's a great book on this called the Letting Go Method. It's by David R. Hawkins. It's a little yellow book. I would highly recommend reading that, even if it's the first like 5 to 10 chapters. It has all of these, like it has a mechanism via which you can let go. Otherwise, I've actually made videos on it on the channel. So you can search letting go, the letting go method or the surrender method, Quazi Joe here, and you'll find it. Hope that answers your question. All right. Getting some good amount of questions. By the way, if you want your question prioritized, I believe we've done this in the past. If you do a super chat, I'll prioritize your question because, well, for obvious reasons, you've invested money and time into this. But otherwise, I'm just going to go in order. What is the best method to internalize the identity of the person I strive to be? The person you strive to be, first and foremost, it has to be correctly formed in accordance with your heart's true desire. What I mean by that is we teach our clients, actually, we teach it in Academy too, and Reality Mastery, how to attain true clarity. True clarity is when you are intellectually, emotionally, and at the identity level correctly aligned to what you want. So you know what you want, you know deep down why you want it, you really feel that this is the right thing for me. It makes my life feel like a continual vacation. And then around that, you form the who. Okay? The identity is formed around your core desire, what you came to this earth to experience. If you form your identity around what you think you want, just intellectually, not what you feel you want, then you will run into a problem, which will basically be you'll always be someone that you deep down feel like you're battling against something. It's not really you. You're trying to be someone you're not, right? So to um, best internalize the identity of the person you strive to be, you have to become who you were meant to be. First of all, that's the most important part, to build the right foundations. Because otherwise, if you're built on shaky foundations, it doesn't matter how much you pile up on top of it, it's going to crumble. So if you are insistent on what you've got already and you're still trying to internalize the person you're trying to be, you can do that. It's going to be frictionful and it's going to make you miserable, but you can do that if you're trying to be someone you're not, especially. And what I mean by that is, if you look at who you are right now or how you've trained yourself to be, it's a habit. It's the habit of being yourself. You have trained yourself to react to certain things in certain ways, and you've collected certain experiences from the past that you cause yourself. I'm this person, Alan, and I've lived this past, and all of these experiences have happened to me. I am this way because of what I've experienced and what I've seen, what I've heard from my parents, my friends, my childhood, etc. All you need to do to change that is to respond differently. Respond in a way that your ideal self would respond. Respond in a way that you would have responded if you were your ideal self. For example, let's say you've always looked at, business failing or, having an empty bank account or a relationship failing as, oh no, see, this always happens to me. This always happens to me because I am unlovable, or I have a poverty mindset. It's because I was raised like this. Well, from that moment onwards, let the natural reaction come up, because that's what you've trained to do instead of trying to resist it. Now, interrupt that cycle by choosing a new response on top of that. So, natural reaction comes up when you look at an empty bank account. See, I am poor. See, nothing I do is ever good enough. Hold on. This reaction too, I can watch and observe. Now I can choose a new response to this. What would my new response be if I'm trying to become wealthy? Well, this empty bank account is a temporary event. Good things are coming. Let's just be patient. Now you've chosen a new response. It's not as strong as your naturally trained reaction, but over time, as you keep waking up at these pivotal moments when you react and instead add a response to it on top of it, your natural reaction over time will become that response of, who cares? Empty bank account doesn't mean shit. Money's going to come. Yeah. Diruba says, is being in a happy mood all the time does make an imbalance in nature? Should we then stay in high vibe or neutral vibe? Then how are you going to manifest your desires, which makes you happy? The most miserable people are the ones who are constantly trying to be happy. Have you noticed this? They're actually the most miserable because they're trying to be something. When you try to be something, you're implying to yourself you're already not that. So instead of trying to be happy, just be as you are. If you just think about it this way, if you didn't try to change yourself, if you didn't try to change something about your life, if you didn't need to change anything, how would you be? Would you be unhappy? Chances are, if you didn't have the feeling of I need to change something, you wouldn't be unhappy. You'd be actually very content. So there's this misunderstanding that I need to be in resistance of what is to have what I want. I need to change what is right now in order to have what I want. Instead of trying to change this moment, choose. Choose what you would like to experience in the next moment. Accept what is right now fully. This is already done. You can't change it. If you do try to change it, it's going to be a battle. So it's like if something unfortunate happens to you in your life, what do people immediately do? They're in denial, they resist it. Natural reactions, right? Natural reactions of someone who's very, very attached. Their importance level is high because they've tied that event or those things, that relationship, whatever it is, to their identity. Completely natural. Now, your response, that's your choice. What would I like to experience in the next moment? You can never create from a place of resistance. You can only create from a place of acceptance. When I accept what is, I gain the potential to choose what is to come. When I accept what is, I gain the potential to choose what is to come. When I resist what is, my energy, my focus is tied to resisting and changing instead of choosing the next moment. You see that? You see the difference? Your attention is precious. Don't waste it in trying to change things, in trying to resist things. Don't be a fighter, be a wizard where you choose, you accept what's happened. This is okay, this is fine. What's done is done. The best attitude to have is what's done is done. What's happened, if I feel crappy right now, then that's okay. What would I like to feel in the next moment? What would I like to experience in the next moment? Choose that. Yeah. Linda says, how do you manifest a happy life for your partner if he is not into this stuff but keeps holding on to negativity? The only way you can manifest something for your partner is by working on yourself. So ask yourself first, like, why is it so important for you to manifest a happy life for your partner? Unless and until you can reduce that importance, you're always going to create more and more of a polar opposite in your partner. For example, whenever I tried to change my wife, she would always take on opposite characteristics. The more I tried to change her, the more she took on an opposing characteristic. It's like, have you noticed how some people just keep attracting polar opposites? Friends, that people that they're friends with, partners that they've had, like people pleasers keep attracting narcissists. Um, Narcissists keep attracting people pleasers. Then you have the employer employees, like there's one kind of employer who keeps attracting the same kinds of employees. When we hold on so much, or we put so much importance to one idea or one characteristic that we have, like a magnet, we attract the opposite quality. The more you insist on your partner being happy and trying this stuff, the more your partner will resist. The more you insist, the more they will resist. When you finally let go and you say, fuck it, let my partner be as they are. The golden rule for this is be yourself and let others be themselves around you. And all you can do is send them loving thoughts. And most of the times, that's enough. That will make someone change. It's like we think if we criticize someone, they'll get better. But think about it this way. How did you feel when someone criticized you versus when someone praised you for something that you did? Didn't you want to do more of that? the good thing that you did when you got praise rather than criticism. Like if someone criticized something bad that you did, you just ended up disliking the person. But when someone said, "Hey, I really appreciate that you did this. I really appreciate how good you are at this. You're actually really good at doing this." Doesn't that make you feel like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna keep doing more of that." Yeah, hope that answers your question. Siddharth says, "Is becoming the king of the world as easy as drinking water if you don't give it that little importance? Have the self-image and talent as well." It can be. Again, it's like the achievement on goals. There's a few factors that depend on how quickly, how fast you achieve. I'm assuming that's what you mean by becoming the king of the world, which is, achieving the things you want to achieve or manifesting the goals you want to manifest. If you want something and you can simply have a resolve in your decision to have, you say, I don't care how, I don't care when, I've made the decision and I'll have it. That's it. It's done. And you can stay with that, right? You can stay with that and you just put one foot in front of the other. So it's like, making a sandwich or getting mail from the mailbox. You simply say, I'm going to go and get mail from the mailbox. I'm just going to go out there and get the mail. What's the problem? Or I'm just going to raise my hand right now. I don't have to think about this. I just do it. Because the complexity of this, the complexity of going out and getting the mail and going to your fridge and making yourself a sandwich is very, very low. But as soon as you have slightly more of a complex goal, like I want to make a certain amount of money, or I want to, experience the grandest things in life. Now, what happens is there are more layers and more steps to it, which gives it more time for doubt to creep in. So imagine you're going to make a sandwich and you started doubting yourself. You're like, what if I'm not able to make it? Well, that doesn't matter. I'll just have something else because your importance level is low. But with the goals that you have, your importance level is high. It's like, I have to have it. So resoluteness in your decision to have is one factor. Your importance level is another factor. Coincidentally, though, when do we start doubting, fearing, and having importance? When we start thinking about how and when. How is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Instead of staying in that state of what I want, why I want it, and who I must become to achieve it, what we do is we think about a goal at a high level and we're like, how is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? That's what creates more importance, more doubts in your complex goals. Yeah. Dia says, how do you still stay in the right frequency where you keep getting disappointments of not getting what you want? When you can't be positive about something, the least you can do is neutrally watch it. Don't try to be positive when you're experiencing strings and strings of disappointments. It's happening because you put something on a pedestal. You put importance on something. And because you put importance on something, you're let down. It just shows you that something was a little too important, so you're disappointed. If it wasn't important, then you wouldn't care. If something didn't have an excessive amount of importance, you simply wouldn't care what happened. So get to a point where you just don't care. If it happens, great. If not, no problem. My life is great either way. I don't need that thing to make me feel better. I still trust that whatever's happening and what is happening right now is great. Unless and until you can get to that state, and this is why people never succeed, a majority of people never succeed. They look for something outside to help them feel validated inside. Instead of creating external circumstances that are an expression of how good they feel within, they look to fill up a void with something outside. Money, love, the body that they want. They're trying to fill up a void. If you felt great right now, independent of what was happening outside, and you could feel that way all the time, you would be the greatest reality creator ever. Because it just simply wouldn't matter what's happening outside. And the best things would happen. When it doesn't matter, the best things happen. When it matters too much, we create that invisible wall between us and what we want. So to stay in the right frequency, all you need to do is get to acceptance. All you need to do is just perceive it as a blessing in disguise. Somehow, some way this is benefiting me. I can't see it yet. The mind, this limited mind, can't see how yet, but I trust, I have faith that something good is about to happen. For example, if you're on the highway, your car tire, explodes. You have a flat tire. You might immediately be like, oh shit, now I'm late to my meeting. My whole day is ruined. This is going to take hours. How do you know that that didn't happen? That was going to prevent you from getting into a massive car crash like a few miles down. Maybe it slowed you down. Maybe it saved your life. Maybe it allowed you to meet someone that day. So that's how you stay in that right frequency. By choosing your state of being first, mentally choosing your state of being first, and seeing how everything can align to that state of being. Life is great. My life is great. Everything that I ever want will happen. Oh, this didn't go my way? That's all right. Maybe it was supposed to happen. Maybe it was supposed to happen. Maybe this is actually the path. Maybe these strings of disappointments is the path to me getting what I want. If your short-term goals don't work out the way that you want, just assume that these short-term goals had to happen like this for you to get to your long-term goal. How do I realize what my heart really wants when everything feels so numb? If you're in this state, it just means your energy levels are too low, which could simply mean physiologically you're not taken care of, aka diet, sleep, like the basics, your environment. I mean, you might just need to get your blood work done, see if you have imbalances in hormones or heavy metals or whatever it may be. If all that's good and you still, and by the way, like your focus could also be causing some of those physical illnesses. But typically, if your diet, sleep, and whatever, what you're putting into your body is not good, no matter what you do, you're not going to feel good. If that's all taken care of, let's assume it is, and you still feel numb, you might just have to do more soul searching. Like go out and do things that you love more. Take breaks, spend time in nature. Allow yourself to dream. You have to raise your energy level slowly. You just have to feel better than what you're already feeling, like one step up. So if you're apathetic, get yourself to a level of anger, right? In the scale of consciousness. If you can, get yourself to a level of acceptance, fully accepting everything that's happening. That's even higher. Yeah. Unless and until you get to a point where you feel sick of feeling numb, because it's like it's an addiction, right? Like feeling sorry for ourselves and just not taking responsibility and just feeling like a victim. It's an addictive feeling because we feel like children again. It allows us to feel like children again, where it's like, oh, my mommy and daddy are gonna take care of me. Oh, they left me. Maybe if I cry enough, they'll come take care of me again. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna feel sick and tired of feeling this way. And that's when change will happen. Have you noticed how that happens to people where they feel sick and tired of being sick and tired? They get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's when real change happens. And they say, no more. This can no longer happen. So either one of those two. Pratik says, routine for clarity and alignment with higher self. Daily meditation, that's one. Like regular daily meditation where you just simply take an inventory of how you're feeling without judgment, without trying to change it. If you feel like crap, that's all right. If you feel great, that's all right. So, what you remove from that equation is your judgment. You just simply watch and observe how you're feeling and keep going deeper and deeper into it. You almost kind of like pick it. You pick at it, right? Like asking why. Why do I just becoming genuinely curious about how you feel? That's one. The other one is asking yourself questions. I mean, that why is also a question. Um, Another question is how would the highest self express itself today? If I were my highest self, how would I express myself today? What would what would how would I be? What would I do? What would I have? Asking those kinds of questions, assuming that state of being already. Yeah, but apart from that, like just daily spending some time with yourself and getting an inventory of how you feel, I think that's the most important part. Listening to that inner voice, becoming quiet, becoming still, becoming silent. Is there a way to harness positivity in even the darkest moments? The desire for a positive experience itself is a negative experience. If you're going through dark moments, allow yourself to feel negative, to feel dark. Whatever you're going through right now is necessary. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen some other time. Be glad that it's coming up right now. And typically, it's, like those dark moments are accompanied by those dark feelings because there's something you've suppressed for a really long time that hasn't been able to be dealt with because life was too busy or something was happening, etc. But now you have an opportunity to deal with it once and for all. So allow yourself to feel those feelings. It's hard, yes, but it's necessary. Don't run away from them. Confront them. What is, in your opinion, the best type of meditation? Should I focus on the breath, focusing on the breath, gratitude meditation? It really depends on what your goal is. As a general daily meditation, I would definitely recommend focusing on the breath, which is more so teaching you how to training your attention training yourself to become more conscious. So I think as a skill development, if you set like 15 to 20 minutes a day of doing that, just watching and observing your breath, that will be enough. Now, if you want to supplement with other kinds that you want to test in the meantime, you can definitely do that. But for me, I can't like I need to train my attention. Like I've just found really good things happen when I don't miss my daily meditation. How to move out from comfort zone. I know I want to manifest a certain job and everything, but can't be able to be consistent. Sometimes I feel like I'm lazy. I also don't want to wake up early. Why do you have to wake up early? Just think about it this way. Everything that you want to do, that you want to be disciplined enough for, can you do it without waking up early, without doing your morning cold plunge or your morning meditation? These are great ways to get started to train discipline, sure. But what if you could have the things that you wanted without doing all those things? So you're focused on doing, like do this, do that, do this, do that. How can you shift that focus to more on being? Who do I have to be in order to manifest that certain job? Who do I have to be to effortlessly live that job or that life as my default? Focus more on that. Shift your focus to that instead of wake up early. You suck because you don't wake up early. That's that's bullshit. I have friends of mine who wake up at 10, 8, 9, 10. They don't wake up at 5 a.m. every day and they make millions. They wake up, they check their phone, then they go to work or they don't go to work. They make millions. Get rid of all of these conditions. I have to do this in order to have that. Go directly to that. I want to have that. What's the most direct path to that? Who you're being. If I were my ideal self, what are some non negotiables that I have? You'll get to a point where you'll want to be disciplined, where you'll lose interest in doing anything else. It's going to become so much fun. Being disciplined, waking up early, it's going to become so much fun. You're going to lose interest in all the other shit. That's the state you want to get to. And that's the state of being. When becoming a little bit better every single day is the most fun thing. This is the same thing. How to overcome laziness, learn helplessness. I know all these, but I don't have the power to take action. Why? It's because you're focusing on the wrong things. You're focusing on doing for the sake of doing, or you're focusing on how hard it is and what you have to lose and not what you have to gain. Like if I focus on, like I wake up in the morning and I want to do my cold plunge, the only reason I would do it is because I believe the perceived benefits of doing it are greater than not doing it. I believe I'm gaining something if I do that action rather than if I were to skip that action. If you truly deep down in your soul believe that to become better, you would have to do this, and if you didn't do this, something bad would happen to you, you would do it. But you don't. So that's how I look at it. Like human beings have just two drives: to get away from pain and to get towards pleasure. If I do this, I will grow. I will have all of the things that I want. I will become my more and more my ideal self. It'll be the greatest expression of my ideal self. If I don't do this, then bad things will happen. Then I will have sacrificed my ideal self. I will no longer be my ideal self. You need a good enough reason to do those things. Lena says, where do I find out more information on the entrepreneur coaching, the cost, please? So to find that, just go to realitycreator.com. The coaching offer we have for entrepreneurs is Reality Mastery. The Reality Creator Academy is for everyone, but Reality Mastery is more focused for entrepreneurs. It's a lot more in depth and a lot more focused on identity shifting. And that's where I do these calls twice a week, every single week. So you can go on the website and schedule an interview. And if it's a fit, we'll make an offer. Otherwise, we'll try to direct you to the best, what we think would be better for you. How to figure out what's the core of your limiting beliefs. Why do you want to figure that out? What do you think you'll gain if you were to figure that out? I'm assuming what you think you'll gain is you'll overcome your limiting beliefs, right? What if you could overcome your limiting beliefs without finding out the core of your limiting beliefs? What if you could simply discard your limiting beliefs? And choose a new set of beliefs? Or what if you could upgrade your beliefs without getting to the core of it? Wouldn't you want that? Again, focus on the most direct solution. You don't have to go all the way to your childhood and whatever happened. In some cases, you do. In most cases, you don't. Like if you're stuck at a certain level in your business and you feel like you're not growing and you've been stuck here for a while, you don't, like, it could just be a simple limiting belief around what growth means. Like maybe you're holding on to small because you believe that playing large will cause more headaches and you're not willing to deal with it. Well, then now your desire has kind of gotten clearer that you want growth without the complexity, growth without the, you know, all the headaches. And you might find it. If that's what you focus on and you're clear on that, you might find it. Growth with peace. Is an appearance change possible through manifestation? Anything is possible through manifestation. But ask yourself, again, get direct. Why do you want the appearance change? What would it allow you to experience that you can't experience without the perceived, without you thinking you need an appearance change? What if you could experience that? If it's attention from the opposite sex or same sex, if it's, you don't like how you look because typically it's because of attractiveness, right? Like you want to become more attractive. What if you could become more attractive without an appearance change? Would you want that? You look as you are, but you've become all of a sudden more attractive. It's again that, vibratory alignment thing we talked about. You have a desire and you have a belief. Your desire is to become more attractive. Your belief is, I need to change my appearance to become more attractive. So now you either got to change your appearance or you got to change your belief that you need to change your appearance to be more attractive. Which one's simpler to do? Typically, it's easier to change your, to do the action rather than change your belief. But if changing your appearance is like directly, I suppose, surgically or whatever, whatever's the easiest way, it's not within your means right now, then you're better off, I suppose, changing your belief around it. to feel attractive now or to feel the appearance now. And you never know, your appearance might just start changing. You might start to view yourself differently. Other people start to view you differently. So the crucial, I think the theme today is become more direct about what you want instead of what you think you want. You think you want an appearance change, but why do you want an appearance change? What do you really feel you want? You feel you want to become more attractive. You want more acceptance. Focus on that. And then the appearance change may come as a consequence of that. Right? It's the same conundrum with the specific partner. Like people want a specific partner, but in reality, what they would rather have is a fulfilling relationship with someone. But their ego or the mind wants this specific partner. Why? Because it wants to feel gratified. But what does your heart really want? Your heart wants companionship. Your heart wants freedom. It wants to feel that expansive feeling like when you were a kid and you didn't have a single worry or a single care in the world. If you want to live a fulfilling existence, become direct and become unashamed about what you want. Go straight to the heart. Stop skirting around in the mind what you think will get you there. Oh, I need to take this turn and this turn and that turn to get to here. So I want this turn, this turn, and this turn. I need to make $10,000 a month to get to $50,000 a month to get to $1 million a month. And then I can live my dream life of having this. What if you could have your dream life of having X, Y, and Z without getting to 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, $1 million a month? What if you could directly go to it? Take a shortcut. Wouldn't you want that instead? Well, but I don't know how that would happen. Stop thinking about how. Just focus on that and how good it makes you feel. And the path will show itself. How to deal with a toxic family that you live with and can't escape. Short term, try your best to isolate yourself as much as you can. Have other good influences around you, friends. Think about yourself as a doctor who's around sick patients. They never get sick, right? They just walk around and treat their patients because that's their duty. And they don't believe they'll get sick. So think about it that way. Like you're a healer and you're just around them, trying to help them. Long-term solution, escape, get away. Because it will rub off on you. Yeah. An alternate solution, feel really, really good yourself. And then be yourself and let others be themselves around you. Your energy will rub off onto them. When you feel good, people around you will start to feel good. When you fill up your cup, the cups of others will be filled because your cup will overflow. People can feel your energy. You become like you gain this quality where people just want to be around you all the time because you just like it just feels so good to be around you because you feel good all the time. All right. I think that's all we have time for today. We had a lot of people joining despite the lack of promotion. So I'm really grateful for each and every single one of you. I hope this was helpful. If you wanted to join the Academy, enrollment for that is open. I made a detailed video explaining what it is, what it involves, the costs, etc. All you need to do is follow that link, realitycreator.com/RCA. We have over 700 members now in Academy, and I think it's a phenomenal place for fellow reality creators. Especially if you don't have a like-minded community of others, you can meet other people literally who live in the same like vicinity as you. And Some people have even met up from Academy, which has been amazing. So Academy is a great way to start it for those who aren't entrepreneurs. And we initially, our company goal is to help every single human being on earth to master their destinies. But I've only been working with entrepreneurs and business owners, and I realized, well, I wish we could help everyone with these principles. So Academy has a core curriculum that contains the fundamentals of what we teach our reality mastery clients. The core fundamentals that you can begin to use right now to get results in your life. Okay? So if you want to take advantage of that, the fundamental principles of reality creation, just go to realitycreator.com/RCA and check that out. But again, grateful for you. Thank you for being such a wonderful member of this community, and I'm looking forward to sharing more with you. Thanks.